This is a departure from a traditional portrait. The portrait is traditionally a picture of a person in a particular place at a particular time. And that's what we know as a portrait, right? This body of work is called the Portrait Unbound because it unbinds the portrait from those constraints. They're metaphorical portraits, so that it's a portrait without showing the subject. And what I do is I take all these different shots that represent the subject, but don't show the subject, that represent different times in their life or different activities or different interests or different accomplishments. And then I put them together into a collage, but it's different than a traditional collage in that it's translucent. You can see through one layer to the next layer. So they're very different than a traditional portrait. It's interesting, one of the subjects, Sondheim, asked me the same question. Said, you know, when you take the shots, do you know the final image? When I was doing his portrait, or is it something that you do later on? And I said at the beginning of the project, I really was just taking all the shots, and then I'd sit down at the computer and try to create my composition because I didn't know enough about the process. As I got into the project, the more I got into the project, the more I understood what elements I'd need, how I would need them, and what angles I might use them. And so the photograph started to be informed by the final composition that I had in my head, although it would still take months to put it all together. It's about scale. This, I wanted you to really experience all the various facets of it because they're very complex compositions. So you have to experience all of it. And for that, I went very large scale. So these photographs or images that are at the High Museum now are 6 by 7.5 feet. So they're quite large. I was, I think, an early adopter of digital. I discovered digital printing probably 15 years ago. I started using digital cameras as soon as they had the capability to be of the quality that film cameras were. And I would say in the last probably 6 years, I haven't shot a roll of film. It's been all digital. I've always been fascinated with photography all my life. And I think it's a combination of two things that suit my personality really well. One is the artistic aspect of it, and the other is the technical. And combining the technical constraints and the technical ideas and developments that we especially have in this age of digital photography with the idea of having a creative medium, that combination is perfect for my personality.